stuff, getting rid of some stuff, throwing stuff out, you know. And I come across a few things that I thought maybe would be interesting and throw on a video. Everybody should know what these are. They're car air fresheners that go in your cigarette lighter, now called power outlets or whatever, because what car has cigarette lighters in there anymore that I know of? I don't think any do, but who knows, the newer cars. But this is an old style. This is a clip fresh refills air freshener type deal. Slip it in your cigarette lighter, the LED comes on, you have your little, let's pretend this is a pack. It would have little juice in a little compartment here, and you would slip it in here like this, slide this in your cigarette lighter, and the light would come on, and all of a sudden this would start heating up, and the aroma of whatever scent you put in there would start filling up your car. And if you're like me and most of the time and everyone else, when you're done using this, or these things quit working, you just toss it in the garbage. Well, this one still works, but I wanted to take it apart and see how it heats up, because I've never actually tore one apart. I just either threw them away, or or they're sitting around like this one has. And this, I've had this for I can't even tell you the amount of years I've had this. But they don't sell this particular style anymore. And this is, if I didn't say it, it's by MEDO, M-E-D-O. But yeah, I'll know from reading up a little bit on that company, it was bought by somebody else, and they're trying to still bring back the air freshener type thing with bottoms. Something falling over there. So, just to show you that it works, let's just plug it in. I have this little power supply that comes in handy once in a while. This is a EICO. I don't know what that company is. It's a 1020 model. I did some research on the internet for this, and I see no pictures of this one on there at all. This one doesn't have the display because it's broke, so I took it off. I need to make another one. Maybe I'll 3D print one or something. But this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to put it on 30 volts, and I have it set on 12 volts right now because this plugs into a 12 volt outlet. So here, I'm just going to leave this like this. When I put it down here, it's harder to read the numbers, but you'll see that right now it's sitting on 12 volts. And I just want to show you something that might be interesting to you, might not be. Okay, I got my meter sitting over here, and this is supposed to be a quick video, so hopefully me playing around doesn't make it too much longer than what I want it to be. But we have 12 volts, 12.08, we'll say 12 volts. Okay, so we'll connect the ground. We'll just throw the negative lead in there, and then we'll connect. I'm just going to stick the positive in the positive, if it'll go in there, just so we can see the voltage. Okay, so we still have 12 volts, and now when I touch this on the end, you'll see the red light come on, and watch the voltage. Goes down to 6.6 something. So with this particular nice little power supply, it doesn't have enough kick in the butt to keep this thing powered at the power that it should have. So it actually shouldn't go down to 6 volts if this power supply was able to handle it. So, and I did some pre-measurements on this. It goes down to 6.6 volts at 70 milliamps. So now we can get this up to 12. Let me put this back in here like this. We can turn this up to 12. I'll hold that on there. And I'll just slowly turn this up until it reads 12 volts on the meter. Now it's getting to be like if it was plugged into a car. It's getting the true voltage because cars are 12 volts. So we got about 12 volts. Shows 12 volts here on the display. You can kind of see that. 12 volts. Now watch the meter when I disconnect the power. It takes 26 volts from this little power supply to power this thing at 12 volts. So just something I thought was interesting to show you. It all comes down to this little power supply isn't for big jobs like this, and you wouldn't think this is a big job, but you know, and it'd be interesting to tear this little thing apart and see what's going on the inside. Since you know I can't find any information on I can find information about this model, but they look different than this one. The other ones say transistor something on here, and it has a different display on it, but that's a different video maybe. So we got it to power up, and with that powered up, like I said, the aroma would come out of there. Now if we were to take this and hook it up to a more powerful power supply, we wouldn't have a problem with it having the 12 volts at 12 volts the way it's supposed to be. And you all, if you've been watching some of my videos, you'll see I did a video on a big power supply that I have sitting next to me. It's a TCR power supply. It's a 300 volt DC power supply. So I have that sitting next to me, and I want to show you what this thing does when it's hooked up to that. So I'm just connecting the leads right now, and let me start another camera so you can see exactly what's going on the meter. Alright, back. So I have that camera running, so now we're just going to connect this up like we did on the other one. And we're going to, this power supply is a little noisy. And I have it set on 12 volts already, this power supply. And I'll show you 12 volts. And you can see the 12 volts on the display. And if you watch the current meter over there, when I touch this, you'll see it jumps up and the 12 volts stays right where it's at. And actually our 12 volts is going to stay at 12 volts. It's not going to go down like the little power supply did. Get that to stay in there. So here we go. And you can see the current reading on there. I disconnected, and I did do this beforehand, and I can tell you that this is reading 138 milliamps. And you can see the meter says 12 volts, so when it's in a car, this is the way it will react. So the little one's only good for, the little power supply is only good for little things. And I can show you real quick what the current would be, just so you believe me. You don't think I'm feeding you. Let me get my my stuff together here. Got to put my meter in series with the power supply now. So because I want to read current, I had it in voltage before, but so here's going to be the current now. Get my stuff together here. That there. Let me reset that. I'm going to shut that off for a second. Got that coming there. Alright, now let's see if this works the way it's supposed to. I don't have no current. What's going on here? Let me check, see if the voltage is right again. 12 volts. Things always go wrong when you're on camera. I got that plugged in there. And I got no current. Why don't I have current? I think I blew the fuse in my meter. Huh. I don't know how I did that, but let's put it on the 10 amp setting and we'll do that. Okay, so there we have 138 amps. Okay, it's 0.138 amps, so it's 138 milliamps. So that's that. And I don't know how I blew my fuse in there, but oh well. Okay, so that's that. Let me stop this camera over here. And let's get down to business and just tear this little thing apart and see what's going on the inside. So I know this comes off. It's got that little thing that pops into the positive side. The fuse is stuck for some reason. It should be springy to push this thing out of this hole. Got a little red ring. Let's see, how does this come apart now? Do we pry it apart? Oh, there's the spring that pushes the fuse out. We'll do that. Oh yeah, pries apart. Oh, there we go. Well, it looks like some stuff got melted on there from when back in the days when I was using it. All right. So this is what we got on the inside. Let's zoom in just a little bit. See if I can keep it in the picture. Got our LED. Got our ground, our positive coming through. Ooh, we got some broken plastic. So, I guess that's good reason to throw it away. Oh, this whole thing's broke here. Guess that's a good reason to throw it away, because I did some searching and you could actually find the cartridges for these on what was it, eBay or Amazon or something, but you know, I don't want to waste the money, and really don't now since this is broken. So let's see, I was going to say there has to be a resistor for this LED, and there is. It's right down here. Let's take this plate off. This is a metal plate right here that the juice sits on. So this metal plate must get really warm. Heat sink compound, that's what it looks like, and a regular resistor, a wire-wound resistor. That's all there is to it. Power goes in it, it heats up this resistor, and that heats up this plate, and that heats up the so-called smell that sits on this plate and gets warm. And so let's see, this is a 91 ohm resistor, 3 watt. It reads RX3W91RJ, and then of course the other numbers that don't mean nothing to us. So that's a 3 watt, and doing the calculations you can figure out all that other jive, Ohm's law, which is not really the point of this video, but the point of it was just to see what was on the inside there, and that's all there is to it. There's one half. Well, so this other one isn't even connected, it's just in there to hold it in there for when you slide it in the hole. But yeah, what size resistor is this? It's a brown, green, red. So there you go. Brown, green, red is what is that? 100 and no, that's 1500. Is that what? I don't always remember the colors. Yeah, 1500. And that I didn't do the calculations for power or anything like that, but you know it can't be more than 3 watts because that's all this is. But there it is. I guess that's why we just throw them out, because there really isn't nothing usable. I guess the resistor's usable, the LED's usable if you want to, but you know, that stuff's pretty cheap these days. Alright, I think that's it. I guess we'll see you on the next one.